Just how like the soft red glow, hooded figure and fancy calligraphy in this admittedly rough opening make it seem kind of mysterious and eerie, my production group used other codes and conventions for our opening sequence to reflect its tone in a similar way, although with a lot more planning involved, thankfully. So, one aspect of mise-en-scene that was fairly important in establishing our sequence's post-apocalyptic horror genre was our costume and setting design. We chose Tully's Farm as our shooting location as it's a set for a lot of horror-related festivals and events, so our location was pretty much already built for us. We specifically used a set of a junkyard filled with completely wrecked and shattered cars to mimic a post-apocalyptic wasteland for the first half of the sequence. Then we shot in a small dark garage with a broken down car for a classic horror setting where there's nowhere to really escape to, yet our main character still chooses it as a hideout spot, as sort of a cliche dumb decision that's a typical convention for horror films. The physical character design, however, was a collection of important choices that, at least in my opinion, really brought the genre home. The way I see it, the character of the survivor reflects the apocalyptic setting, whilst the hunter brings out the element of horror. The survivor wears the stereotypical ripped-up costume of a strong female post-apocalyptic lead, which is a lot more common than you might think, as I researched similar characters, as seen with Imperator Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road, or even Sarah Connor from The Terminator. So the character's rips, dirt, blood, and other accessories on her costume and makeup both allude to the specific subgenre, as well as reveal that her character has likely been through a lot to have made it this far into her survival. Then the hunter, despite only appearing very briefly in the final shots, wears a very distinct costume similar to other serial killers in horror or apocalyptic films, again like the character of the Terminator himself, as it includes a motorcycle helmet that hides his face and an impressive battle axe covered in blood, just like Jason from Friday the 13th, for example, with his signature hockey mask and machete. Yet again, following typical genre conventions to set a clear horror theme, which also in turn attracts the same target audiences, which are prominently men in their late teens or early adult years, as they, purely stereotypically, enjoy violence the most. The final point to bring out our desired tone was how the characters themselves acted. We were lucky to have casted a very talented main actress who perfectly reflected our vision and direction of an intelligent, cautious, and resourceful young woman with a clear intent to survive. She looks over her shoulder a lot to keep an eye out for danger, and makes sure to run to the best of her ability to escape it, despite limping extensively due to her injury, which really encapsulates her sharp survival instincts. And then finally, this is contrasted by the hunter's drawn-out and creepy movements, which, combined with the survivor's terrified expression and an otherwise entirely quiet scene, really effectively built the tension we hope for, as all we hear is the hunter's dragged-out footsteps and the slow scraping of his axe across the ground.